They administer the anaesthetic. This is the next thing I hear. My name being screamed out. My name being screamed out. My name being screamed out. And I opened my eyes. And I looked at my surgeon and I said, how'd you go? He goes, how'd you go? Look at your chest. And there were paddles. My clothes were ripped. He goes, Dominic, we never did the operation. You died on the operating table. The head honchos wanted to know why that 7-Eleven sold more coffees than any other 7-Eleven. It doesn't make sense. It should be an average, right? So the head honchos go, we're taking a trip to New York. So they go there. They get there.
Why.
There's a line out the door. What the hell's going on here? It's fucking 7-Eleven. Coffees are $1. What are they going to be, right? They go in there and they're watching the barista interact with the line, right? They go up to her to listen carefully, and this is what she says as each one comes up. G'day, Scotty, how you going? Do you want your normal latte today? Come on, don't have a latte. How about a cappuccino? I'm making you a cappuccino today, Scotty. Hope you enjoy your job in your hospitality business. I'll see you tomorrow. Next one. Sarah, good to see you. The barista, 50-something-year-old woman, knew all the names of everyone in that line. They weren't lining up for coffee. They were lining up for an experience.
Have a chat.
She knew their name. And the head honchos said to each other, do you know that we can never sack them? If you marry the wrong partner, you're fucked. Because I can go to Marie with the most absurd ideas, she'll back me. In fact, this is the question I gave to her 6 months ago. Hey Marie, should we go to our deathbed on a full tank or empty tank? And she looked at me, she goes, empty tank. I said, can you convert this factory into 10 homes? Can you convert this factory into what we call warehouse shelves? Like we became so good. I used to say to people, we cut cakes, to use your business analogy. We buy a cake at wholesale price, right? Or even market value, $100. And then we cut it up into 8 slices, right? And we sell them each at $20. All I do is cut cakes, right? As long as we buy the cake at the right wholesale price, we're gonna kill it, right?
The information provided is for general information and educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment or financial decisions.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Scottie G Show podcast. Super excited today. My next guest not only has the coolest blue glasses all over the internet, but he's a successful architect, developer, property coach. He is helping people all over Australia, and I'm super excited to have him in the podcast today, talking about one of my passions, which is property. So, welcome,
Thanks,
Dominic Bagnato.
Couldn't wait to get here. I was excited.
I'm glad
Let's go for it.
Now, before we start getting into what you do and how you do it, which I just love your content, by the way, absolutely love it. I'm always. And you pump out so much content, which is a key. Everyone knows that when you're in that social space, you need to be consistent. So before we go into that, let's talk about you. How did you get into what you're doing? And let's talk about.
You mean architecture?
Let's go way back.
Well, you know what, Scotty? Sometimes you know how what's his name? Steve Jobs said, if you look back to connect the dots where your life was, right? Mm-hmm. So if I go all the way back to primary school. One little gift from a teacher, because I was leaving the school to go to another school, she gave me a HB pencil. I know people that today wouldn't think much of a bloody pencil, a rubber and a ruler, right? I was 7 years old. I got excited. So I started to draw. But didn't stop there. So I get to primary school, then I get to high school. And so I enroll in art and graphics. That first year, I got 2 amazing teachers. My art teacher, Louise Speck, and Umberto Abadi, my graphics teacher. They changed my world. They taught me for 6 years straight, the 2 of them. Even when my timetable clashed, they made the classes special for me outside of school.
Right.
Now, at the time, I just thought it was ordinary. Oh yeah, they're taking an interest. But in fact, when I got to year 11, my art teacher said, Dominic, I know you want to go to university, and I know you come from a big family, and it's highly unlikely you can support yourself. True? I said, it's going to be tough, right? She goes, I'm going to teach you how to do 3D rendering drawings of buildings. I'm going to teach you how to do them. Once I teach you, go out and sign up 10 real estate agents, right? And start drawing floor plans, 3D renderings, and brochures, and sell them your services, right? Because in those days, there was no internet.
Sure.
And property was sold via newspapers And the cheapest way to sell was through a black and white 3D rendering.
Yep. There's no software.
No software. The other alternative was full-on photographic colour photos, but the average person couldn't afford that. So I was the one pumping out drawings every week. Lo and behold, I started a business and it grew to the point where I was making the wages of what would be an architect at the time.
Wow.
So I enrolled at university, got into architecture, had a full-on business.
So you knew at this stage this was your passion.
From the age of 7.
This was your passion.
From the age of 7, I was always going to be an architect. In fact, my father was a concreter. And he would take me to work every school holidays, 7, 8, 9 years old, 10, 11. I fell in love with the smell of diesel, the big Tonka trucks. Because you get there and it's pitch black at 5 in the morning. Then the sun rises and I used to see these big machines. I fell in love.
Yeah.
But my father was really worried I'd end up being a concreter because I kept telling him, I love it. He goes, you're not doing it, you're not coming anymore. And he actually stopped me from coming.
Do the cleaner side.
He said the cleaner side. So I thought, okay, I'll design the buildings. So that's how my journey into university became a reality. I then taught 2 long-term friends to do the same tasks. Okay, I've got the northern western suburbs covered, real estate agents, you cover your end, and my friend Angela covered Clayton. So we had it covered. And I said to my 2 mates when I met them, I said, listen, I want to do 3 things in my life. I want to travel the world, I want to buy a house and renovate it, I want to open up my own business before we finish school. And I said to them, are you in? And they said, we're in. So after 3 years of university, we took a year off, and the 3 of us and the 4th mate, we bought a house in Carlton, $99,000.
Bought it together?
Together.
Yep.
18% loan. We spent a year renovating it. The interest was more than the renovation cost, the interest we paid back. We sold it, all we did was get our money back. We lost the year of labour.
Yep.
But we fulfilled the one criteria, we renovated the house.
Yep.
We then backpacked around the world together, which we did. Came back, did the final 2 years of university, and met my wife, who was actually a student as well, but I didn't like her in the first 3 years. But in the second second half, we got on really well. And then when I finished university, which was 92, it was I don't know if everybody remembers, there was a recession. So I get out, and everyone's going, oh, I've got a job as an architect, just pay me $5 an hour, $6 an hour. I said, fuck that, I'm already earning those wages already, right?
Yep.
As a graphic designer.
Yep.
This is where you connect the dots going back. So I said to my mate Anthony, do you want to get a little warehouse in Lygon Street, Carlton? Warehouses weren't popular then, as they are now. So we've got this beautiful loft space, we converted it. Yeah. I said, you run your graphics business, I'll run mine, and we'll just...
share the space.
And we had a ball walking up and down Lygon Street with the cafe owners, the girls, the guy, we just had a ball.
Yep.
What we didn't understand was, we suddenly realised, hang on, we're in the industry already. So real estate agents started saying to us, because we're at the bottom of the market, hey, aren't you guys architects? Because the house you drew last week, Dom, that guy bought it, he needs an architect for 2 units. Do you want to do it? Mm-hmm. Okay, I will do it. Suddenly the market took off. So every project we drew to sell, the buyer was coming to us saying, do you want to be the architect?
Uh-huh. So the name was getting out there.
So the graphics design business transitioned to an architecture practice. So suddenly me and Anthony were architects in our own business. But lo and behold, we got into the residential warehouse conversion. So we were converting hundreds of warehouses across Melbourne, inner city North Melbourne, Fitzroy, Collingwood, Cremorne.
All those little areas that were no good in the past, and all of a sudden became...
Yeah, so that was our specialty.
Yep.
So what happened? More developers came to us, more developers. But as an architect, you want your design built according to your drawings.
Sure.
But developers, they take away the beautiful 10%, the 20%, right? And so one day my partner, Anthony, goes, fuck that. They're destroying our designs. Why don't we build our own, right? So we studied and we became registered builders, commercial and domestic. So we bought some property and we started building in competition to our clients. Yeah. And you might think they were pissed off or got rid of you. No, they kept thinking, oh my God, look what he's doing there. Can you do it on our site? So our work got even more, we got even more busier. So lo and behold, we were suddenly architects, developers, and builders. We put on a third partner, and that's how we became who we are.
At this stage, did you put staff on, or were you just doing
it all yourself? So we had grown to 15 staff.
Yeah, okay.
We had grown to 15 staff, and that one, look, we had the best time. But 2008 arrived, and I'll tell you what happened that changed my life. So one of my best clients, multi-millionaire, comes in, walks right up to my desk. So at that stage, Anthony, my partner, was looking after building. Frank was looking after the architecture. I was finding development sites and feasibility.
So you had a partner who was on site running a project?
Yes, he was the builder.
Everyone
So
had
he was
their own...
He was an architect, but also a registered builder.
But everyone had their role in the business.
We had this, because we grew, we had to distinguish. And a client walked right up to me and he goes, Dominic, my kids hate my guts. He said it with venom. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'll change his name, John, right? Dom, they hate my guts. But why, John? Why? And he goes, Dom, you know, all I've done all my life is chase money. I'm a wealthy multimillionaire, but my kids never saw me. I said, shit. He goes, don't do what I did, all right? Don't do it. And then I suddenly realised I was there every night. I was there on weekends. I was running around. And I had little Max was in kinder. Alana was just starting primary. I hardly saw him. And something happened that I said to myself, I can't do this anymore. So I said to my wife, Marie, what am I going to do? You know, I'm scared.
Yep.
I just turned 40. And she said something really stupid. She goes, leave the business. I said, I started the damn thing. I'm going to leave what? She goes, leave. And I just went to my two partners and said, look, it's going to be a shock because we haven't had a fight. Everything's good.
Everything's good?
Everything's good, but I'm leaving in 12 months.
And these are the reasons why?
And these are the reasons why.
Yeah.
And they were really good. And I said, but I don't want anything. I just want one thing. I just want my name out of the business, right? I want Bagnato, I want to take that back. So Frank rebranded Bagnato Marion Garino Architects to BMG. Okay. Anthony took Grattan Developments. And so over a year, we rebranded because I didn't want to just...
Sure.
Because I was bringing the work in with my name. I didn't want to... And so we went our separate ways and I said to my wife, Marie...
But you did it the right way.
We did it the right way.
You gave them time.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I said to my wife, Marie, well, now that I've left, you've supported me for 10 to 15 years. You're an architect. And by that stage, can I tell you something funny that happened one day? We needed a really good designer. This is a year before all this happened. And we couldn't find one. I walk in one day and my wife's sitting behind our desk. I said, what are you doing? She goes, I work here. I said, man, you're not working here. Who hired you? And my two partners had gone behind my back and hired her, right? So she's sitting in there as well. So when we left, I said to Marie, you take the lead, all right? What do you want to do? Because we had set up primarily an architecture practice that looked after developers.
Yep.
Right? And we did a lot of work for their kids, so we knew how to get property for people and to whatever.
So these are mainly multi-dwelling sites?
A lot of multi-dwelling sites. Of course, we did the occasional homes.
Sure.
But mostly, can you convert this factory into 10 homes? Can you convert this factory into what we called warehouse shells? Like, we became so good. I used to say to people, we cut cakes, to use your business analogy. We buy a cake at wholesale price, right? Or even market value, $100. And then we cut it up into 8 slices, right? And we sell them each at $20. All I do is cut cakes, right? As long as we buy the cake at the right wholesale price, we're going to kill it, right? And to this day, it's what I push today. Can you buy the cake at a certain price? And we'll slice it up. But we were pigeonholed because that's everybody that came to us was that type of client. So when Marie and I refreshed, I said, what do you want to do? Because there's an opportunity. We're starting fresh. She goes, Dominic, I want to do luxury homes or homes. It doesn't have to be luxury, but just beautiful homes. I don't want developers. I go, what? She goes, I don't want developers. Look what happened over there. If you think I'm going to go back over there, we're doing homes.
Right.
So Marie started the business and it grew. She's an interior designer. But I just never ever fell in love with sitting across someone talking about door handles, carpets, and I just couldn't do it.
You like the subdividing side.
Yeah. So I snuck in a few developer clients on the side. So I looked after this little boutique. And we continued to do private projects. Marie and I, and joint ventures with, coincidentally, her builders that she had developed an association with to build her clients' homes. And so I've always continued on that path. And that kept us in the market. We love it. Marie, we did developments, but the criteria was it had to be boutique. It had to be beautiful architecture because she will say no to anything that she thinks is not appropriate. You can't
but that's good.
You can't sway her with money. It just won't. Whereas I was the sort of guy, well, okay, you want us to do an upside down carport? Yeah, right. But so that love, and I knew that through property, you can get property. And what I'm saying is, I always say to people, the most dangerous thing that can happen to you in life, I think, is to go to a public auction, put your hand up, and you sign a 30 or 40-year mortgage.
Yep.
That's scary for me. What's not scary is to do the same thing, knowing I can cut it up, subdivide, and get a foothold into the market. I've helped other people do it. I know it's possible. So when my son and my daughter were about to turn 20, I looked at them, I thought, who the hell is going to help you? How are you going to do this? And so I took Max to a couple of little projects that we had bought as a family to teach him, and he fell in love with it as well. So I know that through collaboration, that buzzword, couples can get together, put their resources, put a deposit, and do something. There's an architectural company called Charles McBride Ryan. They designed the Peter MacCallum Hospital, beautiful building in Melbourne. And if you look up an article, they bought a site, I think it was Q, don't quote me, they got 8 or 10 of their closest friends and said, right, we're going to buy this together. We're going to put 10 homes, we get one each. Bang, instantaneously, one home each, instant equity, architecturally designed. It's not rocket science.
And I think the important thing when you do a collaboration like that is everyone needs to be clear on how this works.
Okay, I'm a big believer. You must have what we call them a joint venture agreement.
Absolutely.
Right? Because if you don't, someone's going to get pissed off.
Yeah.
What happens if someone midway wants to leave the group?
Yes.
Who gets the first right to buy that
But as
one?
long as it's stipulated at the beginning, then there's no discussion on how it works. If you want out, well, this is what happens. Okay,
you want to do the landscaping during the project? Well, you're going to get paid. You know, none of this bullshit, oh, come on weekends. No. You either do it professionally or we don't want you. Everything's, even today, we even write down how we're going to communicate. There's so many communication channels. Is it on WhatsApp? Is it Messenger? Is it email? Is it text? Am I going to respond to text, email? But no. If you don't email me, you won't hear from me. So I'm a really big believer of that, Scotty. And
but everyone getting paid, I think, is an important thing too, because you're going to pay somebody anyway. Okay. Look, so if someone in the project is going to take on that role, it's only fair.
I could give you an example. One of my last projects. So a really good builder, and I call them friends now because they've been building for so long. Marie's projects. Said, Dom, let's do a project together. I said, all right, I'll go and look for a project. And the project I went to look for was inappropriate, but as I turned the corner, I found a really good one. Oh, this is unbelievable.
Was it for sale or you just...
No, it was for sale. I had a board and everything. And that particular site traditionally could hold 3 units. I already knew if I could get 7. When I say I already knew, I believed in my heart, with my skill and knowledge, I'll get 7. Now, I teach what I call, it's called the storytelling funnel for property development. The first thing you've got to do in the storytelling funnel, you know, a sales funnel? Okay. At the top of the funnel, number 1 is this. You, me, Dominic. Am I seeing what I'm seeing? Am I really seeing 7 here? Or am I joking? Am I kidding myself? Because this street's got single units, 1 house, but you're saying 7. As soon as you can have that self-belief of, I've gone through the funnel. But the next person in the funnel is the joint venture partner. So I went up to the boys and I said, hey boys, found a site. Oh, that's awesome, Dom. I want to put 7 on there. That site, Dom, that site, you can only put 2 or 3. I'm going to put 7. Are you in or you're not?
So you already had it in your head that you could do it.
So I had to convince them in the funnel, are you in? So I told them the story. This particular site, it's unusual. It's not like everybody else's. I can tell a story. There's a recording studio there. There's an art studio. We'll call it the Art Factory. I know how to create a story. Are you in? And they're in. So the property's moving through the funnel. And as I tell everybody, what's the next part of the funnel? We've got to convince the real estate agents what terms we want. We've got to tell them a story as well. Dom, they're quoting 1.2. We're going to be eaten alive at the auction. There are 3 local builders that will kill us here. This is my joint venture partner talking to me. I said, I know.
You said, I've got a different strategy.
A different strategy. Why are they going to kill themselves? Oh, his name's Paul, was my joint. Dom, they'll kill themselves for 2 reasons. A, they want the property, because they can put 3 on there, right? And B, they've got egos. They'll eat each other alive just to be the one to say, beat the other 2. I said, I know. Let them eat each other alive at the auction. We're not paying 1.2. We're paying 1.4 plus. What? You got to be joking. I said, I'm putting 7 on there. Per unit site, we'll kill it. The auction. So we convinced so the story we told the agent was now I have a tactic. If you ring up the agent during the 4-week campaign early in the, and you say you need 120 days, 5% deposit, immediate access, you know what they say? Fuck off. So
Join the queue.
Join the queue. So I ring Friday night. Just out of courtesy, I thought I'd give you a call.
This is the day before?
The night before.
The night before,
auction.
yep. Auctions
and,
on the Saturday.
Love the property. Mate, I'd buy that tomorrow. But I'm not coming tomorrow. I might come as an observer. But other than that, I'm not interested. But why, Tom? I need 120 days, 5% deposit. Not interested. But good luck. Hey, tell you what, if it doesn't sell, give me a call on Monday. I'll be interested to see how you go. Look, Tom, can you give me a minute? I'll ring you back. And I'll ring you. I'll ring you back. Listen, I spoke to the vendor and I'll give you 120 days, 5% deposit. And you might say, why am I even telling you this, right?
But did you give him a number, though, of what you were prepared to pay?
No, because they're quoting 1.1 to 1.2. But this is psychology.
Yep.
You got to understand, an auction is only an auction if there are competitive bidders.
Sure.
The fear you plant in that agent is, fuck, if he doesn't turn up and I've only got one buyer, I'm fucked.
He's got no one to compete
But
with.
if I've got two buyers and a third one, I'm better off. We'll take the 1.2 beyond.
Yep.
That's the reason they'll say yes. Now, you might be saying, you've just divulged to everybody your tactic. Does it ever backfire? Yeah, it does.
Of course, because
Hey,
circumstances
Dom,
are different.
spoke to the agent and I spoke to the vendor and he said, fuck yourself. Yeah, no worries. I'll be in the back watching you. Now, yes, there have been occasions I've gone there and the auction hasn't gone well. You know what happens? A little man walks towards me.
Yep.
Hey, Dom, spoke to the vendor, mate. Don't give you the 120 now. You're gonna bid, so you might get that, or they might not give you the terms, right?
Or an off-market deal later if it doesn't go ahead.
Or they might just simply say, bad luck, you're not getting it, and I don't get them. But I'm there, and there's doubt in their head.
Sure.
So of course it doesn't work all the time, and of course, divulging this, you might be thinking every agent's going to know Dom's tactics, but they run the risk of me bluffing them as well. It works in reverse, because I've gone to auctions where they've said no, and they said, hey, you didn't bid. Yeah, I told you I wouldn't. Yeah. When in fact, it went over my reserve, right?
Sure.
But on this particular property, we go in. Oh, so at the auction, they're killing themselves, the three builders. And
as expected? As you thought?
And it's down to like $500 bids, and it's about to be knocked down to one of them, and I put my hand up. $500, and they look at me and go, who the hell is this? And he goes up 10,000, and the auctioneer goes, $500, 10,000, $500. And the auctioneer goes, why don't you go up 10,000? I've only got $500. I don't have $10,000, which is stupid really, because he's going up by 10. I'm actually going up by 10,500, right? And eventually, and this happens to me a lot, that guy didn't know me. He could save face and give up because the other two were out anyway, so he wasn't going to lose face, right?
Yeah.
And at the end he goes, you're a fucking idiot. At the auction, in the middle of the auction, I said, yeah, no worries. So it gets put down to me, and he comes up to me and goes, you fucking won't even get 2 or 3 here. I'll get 7, buddy. Anyway, we go in.
Yeah, go on.
Now, you've got to have a conviction.
Absolutely.
I sound a bit arrogant, but you've got to have this
No,
conviction,
but you
right?
understand you would have done your due diligence on it.
I'll tell you what,
done a bit of research.
If I don't get 7, 6 will work. If 6 doesn't work, 5 will work. If 5 doesn't work, 4 will work.
And you've done your numbers.
Done my numbers.
Whatever it's going to be.
We paid 1.4. We paid 200 above the reserve.
Sure.
So I go in, little old lady and little old man there, and I said to them, you know, you gave me 120 days. Can you give me another month? And the little lady goes, I said, I'll tell you what, we'll rent it out, and you can even take the rent during the period. And the agent looks up at me and goes, you can't do that. You've already agreed. Hey, talking to the lady, right? And the lady goes, yeah, I'll give you an extra more than a month. And I said to the agent, don't complain. I'm going to sign the section 27. You're going to get your deposit tomorrow morning. Yeah. Or I'll take the 120 days. Good luck when you get your money. And he walked away, right? So he was
But it's just proof that it doesn't have to always be one way.
I don't follow
a negotiation doesn't have to follow the norm.
No.
As long as it's legal. As long as
I didn't do anything wrong. I just asked the question.
Absolutely.
While I'm here, do you mind?
Yeah.
And what if we rent it? And she was right. They got the rental. I got the extra month.
Because somebody listening to that's going to say, I never
There
ever
are no
thought of
rules.
that. I never thought of that.
There are no rules. I can tell you I've been to auctions where I couldn't give a shit what they say. You've got to follow rules, but really the rules are very basic, right? Yep. And at the end of the day, I submitted for 7 and we got a permit for 6. The builder kept 1 and I kept 1. And to me, what was lovely about that project is we sat down and we said, right, you are the builder. How much are you going to get paid? My fee is X amount. Right, you're getting paid.
Yep.
No freebies, you're getting paid.
Yep. You're the architect?
Well, in this case, I said, Marie wants to be the architect, my wife. She's going to submit a fee. Guys, are you happy with that fee? You're happy? Excellent. All right. I'll project manage it. I'll deal with the banks. I'll deal with all the paraphernalia. My fee is this. Is everybody happy? Yes. We're all happy, right? Well, you all knew, if I charge $50,000, as if I'm going to do $50,000 worth of work. I'm going to do $100,000 worth of work.
Course.
Do you think Marie's going to stop at one design? She killed herself to make. And we knew the builders would just dedicate the perfect.
Everyone had skin in the game, so everyone's going to be committed to it.
So not only are we going to get paid, we're all going to work twice as hard.
Sure.
People say to me, Dom, what's the best joint venture partner? If you can get a builder on board, it's excellent because they're going to work on the side. A real estate agent, similarly, anyone that's associated with like we call them strategic partners because not only are they working on the project, so that's the strategic part, but they've got money in. A non-strategic partner is someone that says, hey, Dom, can I give you $1 million and to do that project? What are you going to do? Nothing. I'm going to go to Hawaii. Give me a call when it's finished. That's non-strategic.
No say in the project. They just put the money in. They expect a return.
Expect a return. Is there a place for them? Yes, to get a project going, but they can't be expected to be paid for doing anything.
No.
They'll just get a return on their money.
Sure.
But sometimes you need a strategic partner because if they were strategic, they could add knowledge to the part.
Yep.
So even if you've never done this before and you get excited because you signed up 2 non-strategic partners and they've given you all the money in the world and now you're on your own with no knowledge, that's not a good idea.
All you've got is funding.
All you've got is money.
That's all you got.
And
you got funding.
And sometimes that isn't the key to a successful project.
Yeah.
Because I'm a believer, and as much as people are going to say, no, not true, money's always out there. If the deal works, the money's going to come. So therefore, you need the deal to work well with good financiers, brokers, and I push this all the time. It's the team that does it. You can't do it solo.
And probably more crucial now than ever with the cost of construction being so high, having people that are involved in the project and doing their specific roles.
You know, last night, it was 1 a.m. This is true. And something was bothering me because I had a few builders contact me saying, Dom, you know, there's uncertainty when we sign contracts with the escalation of costs. I don't have certainty I'm going to make money. I've got 2 kids, a family. I'm going to lose if I sign a contract. So that's them. But at the
sign a fixed price contract.
Yes.
Yep.
But at the same time, heaps of clients, Dom, I'm so worried. You know, I sign up a builder, all these extra clauses that is, you know, rise and fall. I've only got 1.2 million. I don't have that money. So uncertainty on their end. Then I hear my wife and a lot of other architects and consultants, this fees bleeding us. You know, we signed up for X amount, scope creep. So in other words, all the parties have uncertainty. So 1 a.m, I got up and I did a video, which I'm going to post really soon. And I thought to myself, if Dom was going to build a house today, now bearing in mind I am a builder, I'm not going to build my home. This is exactly what I'm going to do. Marie, you're an architect, I'm an architect. We can't have 2 architects on a project. You are the architect.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Mr. Builder, we want you, I'm not going to tender this out. You are the builder, Mr. Builder, all right? We want you to build this home. What's your budget, Dominic? Well, no, my budget for the project is 1.2 million, but hear me out. What would you charge? What's your fee for building this? Dom, I normally want to walk out with 100 grand. Okay, it's 100,000. Not the work you do on site, because you'll get paid for anything else. 100. All right, we're going to take 100 of that 1.2, stick it in the bank account. You have certainty now. You are going to be paid for 100 grand.
Yep.
Are you happy with that? Oh, yeah. Marie, what's the fee for architecture? 80 grand consultants. Okay, stick 80 grand into an account. And then we're going to stick 120 contingency. All right. So I would then say to the client, you have 1.2 for the project, only 900 for construction. Because we created certainty.
Yep.
Now, let the architects design you the most amazing $900,000 home. Get it out of your head, it's 1.2 because because that's what you've got. You've got to pay people.
There's other costs involved.
So what happens then? The 3 parties get together and say, right, are we a team? Yes. Are we going to work together? Awesome. What do we got to do? We've got to build this for 900,000. Get QS reports. We've got to do everything in our power to get that client into that home for 900. I feel okay as a builder. I'm going to be paid.
Yep.
I've got my money set aside, drip fed during the project. And for me, that is the optimum solution. Now, I know heaps of people watching this are going to say, but how can we trust the builder? Because they think the builder won't work. I'm telling you now, if you're a reasonable designer, architect, whatever, you've got associations with builders that you work with for years.
Sure.
You know cost. You
Yep.
know their integrity. You know people.
Yep.
So at the moment, that's what I would prescribe to the public. Forget tendering. What do you think? You're going to get the cheapest house? How's that going
And
to
it's
work
an
out?
open book, sort of, when you're
Open
talking
book.
on that sort of level of negotiation with a builder, because there's no secrets here.
No.
This is what it's going to cost.
You basically-
This is how much we're going to get paid.
Get an Excel spreadsheet, right, and write down everything that goes in the building. And in column A is estimated costs, $900,000 worth of works. Column A. Column B is actual. We allowed 100,000 for joinery. It's
Yep.
come in at 110.
Yep.
We've got a contingency. Do we use it from the contingency, or shall we look further down the Excel spreadsheet and say,
Save some money somewhere else.
hey, let's pull out that carpet from Italy. All right, so you play with the numbers. That's
Yep.
column B.
Yep.
Column C is whether you've gone over or under on each of those items, so you can track the
Yep.
project as you go. I can't think of anything more beautiful than that.
Sure.
Now,
Clear.
it's clear
for everyone.
Everyone gets paid. You build it to a budget, and you get a beautiful home. Now, the mindset of the client has to be: you never had 1.2 for construction. You had 1.2 for your project.
Yep.
There's a difference in
Yeah.
if they can understand
Site
that,
costs, third-party consultants.
because under the current arrangement, if a client says to the builder, you will not get this project unless it's a fixed price, and the builder signs for it, how's that going to help the client if the builder suddenly is under massive financial stress because of something that's happened in the world, right?
Which a lot of them
how's that
have
gonna
been.
help you? How's that going to go?
Yeah.
If he does a runner, or if it doesn't even do a runner, it just collapses. Well, how's that going to help you? So
That's a really good point. It's a really good point.
I would rather we try and help each other to achieve the end game. And, Marie and I want to do our next forever home. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yep.
So my role will be the person making sure that those Excel spreadsheets are on par, right? Marie be the architect, you be the builder. What's your fee? I want to make sure you get paid and you're happy. I'm going to monitor those three columns, right? Because I want to make sure that at the end we're at, at a certain...
What's the point in screwing the builder if he's going to then end up failing and then you've got nothing?
Let's assume he doesn't even fail but breaks even. He's got kids.
Sure.
They've got a family.
Everyone's got to win.
Everyone's got to win. So we've got to enter this new world where it's not us against them mentality. And one thing I've learned through my social media is I can't believe how many good builders there are out there. We only ever hear about the bad ones. How many good trades.
Yep.
And I can tell. I can tell by the language, the comments, the interaction. I can tell. Sometimes you just know.
And I think it'll keep getting better too, because the BPC, the Building and Plumbing Commission, they're now putting certain criteria on trades to be licensed. In the past, we know that anyone could do certain trades. Anyone could have done it. No one's policing it. So I think we're going to see an improvement.
Scottie, I was on a building site, one of my own projects, where I was acting as the builder. Guy turns up and out of the car, pulls out a card and he goes, do you need a tiler? Had his name on it, Tyler. I said, look, buddy, thanks for, but I got a tiler. He put his hand in his pocket, pulled out another card, had his name on it.
I'm a waterproofer.
Painter. Need a painter? No, I don't need a painter. I got a painter.
You ran out of pockets.
Plasterer? You need a plasterer? Hey, how many trades could you possibly be? Get out, right? Go away, right? That's how it is.
Yeah.
Now, if there are so
It was
many,
unpoliced.
there are so many shit buildings going up. I can't. This is what's all over the news. Shit is being built.
Yeah.
And why are they getting licenses so easy? The good, and you never hear the good stories.
Yep.
How many times have you heard, there's an amazing news story how a builder built that property to budget and everything went fine. You don't hear any of that. You only hear all the bad news. So on the socials, I'm pleasantly surprised that so many good people, honestly. All over Australia, mind you.
Let's talk about that. I mean, your socials, how do you pump out so much content? And I say that positively because everyone knows, everyone that is doing, you see all these courses pop up in your feed, how to do social media marketing and how to be on Instagram, and you've got to do X amount of posts a day and all that sort of stuff. So being in people's faces is important, but being in people's faces with the right content that people are interested in is the only way to be engaging and then increase followers and build that community.
Okay, so I never intended to be on social media because I don't even post anything personal in terms of kids, family, the dinner I had last night. I've never done any of that sort of stuff. So There is a bit of a backstory, to be really honest, Scotty. So, in 2023, mid-2000, I played squash. You remember squash? It's an old game from the past. Anyway, I played squash at university.
What do you mean the old game? It's still a game.
It's still a game, but it's just not as popular. But I hurt my ankle severely at university.
Yep.
But being young at the time, the only way to fix the ankle at the time was they wanted to pin and fuse my bones. But being a young person, I would never play sport again. And I said, I'm not doing that. And they said to me at the time, you will eventually get a lot of pain and one day you won't be able to walk. Okay. So to the beginning of 2023, COVID had just finished and my ankle was off the charts. And I wanted to travel with my kids and I knew I wouldn't be able to sustain the ankle. So my wife goes, please go back and see the surgeons and see what they say about progress, technology's improved. So I saw a surgeon, he said, Dom, we've improved technology, we'll pin and fuse your bones.
But still give you...
But you'll have flexibility. Yeah. You'll feel funny walking on sand, but your mind will adjust and you'll eventually... And plus, you're in your 50s, you're not playing squash again, so forget it, right? I said, all right, done. So I have this major surgery at the beginning of 2023 because you're in bed for 12 weeks, leg up traction. Yeah. You've got to inject yourself because you've got blood clot. There's a whole, it's major, right?
Yeah, right.
So I went through all that. At the end of that 3 or 4 months, there was a bit of a niggle on the ankle.
Yeah.
And I went to see the surgeon. He goes, Dom, we have to get you in just overnight. We've got to fix we've got to remove a pin, just move it. Sorry, it's not usual. Shit happens. We'll get you in.
Sure.
I panicked because the first operation I had trained for. Now I've been in bed for 3 months. I put on weight. I didn't feel up to it.
Yep.
So I panicked and I said, listen, I don't think I'm up to it. Dominic, we operate on 86, 87-year-old people. It's nothing. You've had major surgery. This is nothing.
Have you ever looked at a property and wondered what hidden opportunity everyone else is missing? Dominic Bagnato, known as the Invisible Architect, is launching the Invisible Property Community and his property development courses, The Art of Development. Dominic is an architect, builder and developer with over 30 years experience, and he teaches people how to see property differently, from development potential, design, feasibility, construction, and the decisions most people miss. Check out his unique take on property on his Instagram profile, The Invisible Architect, the.invisible.architect, for his daily posts. To join the waitlist, send your full name, email, and mobile number to Dominic at theinvisiblearchitect.com.au or direct message The Invisible Architect on Facebook or Instagram.
So that week, Scotty, this is a true story. I'm telling my daughter, in case something happens, darling, do this, this, and this. And she's looking at me. My sister-in-law's in the medical practitioner. I said, I'm having issues. I think I've got this bad premonition. And everyone thought I was being paranoid the whole week. So the day of the surgery comes, I get there at 6 a.m, and this particular hospital is in disarray. Meant to have surgery at 10, gets delayed to 11, and eventually I say to my wife, Marie, go home. God knows when they're going to operate.
Don't wait around.
Don't wait around. So she goes home. 12 o'clock comes along, 1 o'clock. I'm starting to get stressed out, not feeling very well. And I can't get the nurses. No one's listening to me. I'm finally rushed up to theatre. But I've had so many operations, Scotty. I know procedure. Nothing went like I normally would have. Straight into the surgery, and I'm looking at, I'm not kidding, I'm looking at the lights. And being an architect, I thought, fuck, that's the last pattern I'm going to see on this earth.
Why were you thinking this? What was this premonition?
I don't understand why. And I'm not superstitious.
Sure.
I don't believe
Just something didn't feel right.
Something didn't feel right. But I felt embarrassed to cancel it because of stupid... and if I hadn't told people, it would be just a myth, right?
Sure.
So they administer the anaesthetic. This is the next thing I hear. My name being screamed out. My name being screamed out. My name being screamed out. And I opened my eyes. And I looked at my surgeon and I said, how'd you go? He goes, how'd you go? Look at your chest. And there were paddles. My clothes were ripped. He goes, Dominic, we never did the operation. You died on the operating table. I said, what?
What?
I said, what do you mean I died on the operating table? He goes, Dominic, it never happened. As soon as they administered the anaesthetic, you flatlined. And you're going to be in a lot of pain. I've probably broken 4 of your ribs because they were compressing you. I've ripped your muscles.
Fuck.
You're going to be in a bit of trouble. And I'm just sitting there
So
going...
from the anaesthetic...
Multiple procedures throughout the day. I was dehydrated. They didn't give me fluid. That's just the whole roll of
Sequence
things.
of events.
If there's 5 things that can go wrong, 1 won't kill you, 5 will.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I spent a few hours trying to make sure that I wasn't brain dead. But to cut a long story short, it changed my life because I saw a cardiologist. He said, "There's nothing wrong with you." I said, "I know." He goes, "But do you understand what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with you." But I went home broken. I couldn't even move my fingernails. I couldn't do this without spasms. And so I was broken, a year of lost income. I felt like abandoned, right? The anaesthetist rang me at home to have a second chance. I'm thinking, I ain't going back, ever.
Nearly killed me.
Well, I didn't say that, but... And then I won't name the hospital, but the administrator rang me. She made me feel guilty. We saved your life. We saved your life. What do you mean I wouldn't have been in that position? Anyway, so I went to see my GP and I said, I need help mentally and physically. I can't cope. I can't move. And he says something profound. He goes, "Dominic, no one's coming to help you, ever." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "No one's going to help you." So I went home.
And has that stuck with you?
Oh, it stuck with me because I rang him back and I said, "I've got to lose weight. I've got to get fit." He goes, "You can't. You're too many spasms." I said, "If I go on an exercise bike, will I die?" And he goes, "No, you won't die, but you got broken." And so I started that journey of...
Start slow. Start small.
By myself. I studied intermittent fasting. I studied Asian medicines, and I got back my life. And I cured my foot. Remember how I went into for the first time?
Yeah. And then you didn't even need the surgery.
No, I fixed it. Anyway.
Chinese herbs.
No, I didn't, not so much herbs. I'll tell you what the big thing for me was. I know we're going off track. Intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Because I read a book and it said the stomach and the brain talk to each other all day.
Yeah.
So food goes in the mouth and the mind says to the stomach, "Oh, we've got to start working now. Get to work. We're busy, 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 busy." But if you don't eat, then when the mind wakes up, it says to the stomach, "It's fuck all to do today. What are we going to do today?"
RDO.
No, it's not an RDO. Get the boys to go around the body, look for any problems, go fix it.
So we'll fix up some other issues.
Go fix up the other issues. So if you read up on intermittent fasting, it's heavily based on...
That's interesting.
The brain sends... And I thought, okay, I wonder if the little people inside me can go fix my ankle. And it fixed it.
So because it wasn't using energy to process food at certain times of the day, it was actually...
So I did big fasting. I would eat on Monday. My next meal would be Wednesday. And then my next meal would be Friday.
Wow.
I did that for a year.
So like what, water and
Just
certain
water.
food?
Just water.
Just water?
Just water.
And you had energy? Or you got
In
used to
the early
it?
days, you don't have any, but the body becomes used to it. And then it becomes
That's fascinating.
like a drug. Like you crave it. I can't explain it to you. You actually crave it. And so I learned, oh my God.
I eat like 4 or 5 times a day. So
I know, but you got to, I had to test.
That's amazing.
The fear of going back
Yeah,
into
no, that's
surgery was so
amazing.
big. Anyway, really what I'm trying to say is this. I realized then the answers are all out there.
Yep.
All the answers. In anything that you do in life, I do in life,
Yep.
whatever, if people are watching this, whatever industry they're in, all the answers are there. But no one's going to come and give them to you.
And like you said,
no
the
one's going to
doctor
come
said,
and help
no
you.
one's going to come and save you.
No one's going to save it. So I fixed myself, and then Max, my son, says, "Dad, I'm going to be an architect. I want to be an architect." I said, "What the hell is this coming from? I'm going to go to university." And then the news was full of young people not being able to get their first homes. So here I am, broken but getting fixed.
Yep.
But then something else happened that really tipped it over the scales. So you would think the hospital environment would have had changed my life forever. Oh, I'm going to do all the things I never wanted to do. I didn't have any of that. I tell you what happens when you have that as a father. You think to yourself, if I had died, my kids, I would have left them with unfinished business. I would have left my wife with she doesn't even know our passwords. Like that's what
They've got matters that they go and sort out now.
Yeah, that's what came to me. Not I've got to trek Mount Everest or I've got to. None of that came to me. I mean, I'm sure people do all that.
Sure.
But the biggest event happened 3 months later. So broken, I thought I've got to get back into development and architecture. So I found a site for my longest ever client. Beautiful site. Development site, a vacant block of land, which I could have easily have bought potentially for myself or handed it over to other people.
Yep.
I wanted to give it to him because he would give me back the architecture, the management, and I love creating.
Yep.
So we went and we bought it. I won't go into the intricacies, but we bought it for $500,000 below market value. because I'd done a lot of homework on the site. People thought it was contaminated. It wasn't contaminated. I searched for the 25-year report. I searched all of the authors, and I backed myself. This is not contaminated. It's clean.
You did the research.
Did the research. We buy
every
it.
site's different.
We buy it. We give him a fee, and he says, Dominic, your fee's too high. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, the architecture fee is too high. Your project management fee is awesome. This is awesome, but your architecture is too... And I said, but this is a very difficult site, and it requires our expertise. I've been doing this for 30 years with you, and I've never let you down. We need the money to produce what we need to produce. I don't value your fee. I don't value it. And that hit me. I can't tell you how worse than the operation. When someone says, I don't value you, that's kick it. That is...
Yep.
And I'm on my crutches.
Yep.
And then you fucking bastard. You don't value me.
And everything you stood for.
I just made you $500,000
Yep.
and you can't pay me.
Yep.
So we went to a local architect with limited knowledge, and he was 50% cheaper than us. So I wrote him a letter. And I said, listen, please do not use me. Don't use Marie, don't use anybody.
Yep.
Don't use this person. He's a very nice person, but he's not skilled in this particular area. Please go find an architect skilled for this area. You're still a nice person, because he was more concerned that I would lose our friendship than
Sure.
business is business, he was saying.
Yep.
But he ignored me. Scottie, he ignored me. 2-3 years have gone by now, still not built.
Really?
Still. An extra 100.
Because it was complex.
Yeah,
It needed
120 to 150,000 extra of costs
Over budget
he
now.
spent on people, right? Yeah. But that changed my world. And I thank him to this day. He feels guilt. I thank him. Because from that day onwards, I stopped doing all his work. Because up until that day, I gave my heart and soul to my clients. I gave everything I could.
Yep.
And that day onward, I said to Marie, I'm going to start looking after this little family of 4 of us. From today onwards, fuck them all. And that's when I said, I'm going to help people who want to be helped.
Yeah.
All right?
And value.
And value
my efforts.
And that's when I said to my son Max, because he's got friends that are 18, 20, I'm going to help you guys. You can't do it alone, right? Yep. I'll help you find a property, and together you boys are going to do really well. And to my daughter. And so I went on social media and did a couple of posts, but there was no real traction. I just was experimenting.
So that's how it started. That's how the social started.
But I've got 100 followers. I've got nothing, right? And then one day I'm walking on the coast at Barwon Heads along the river, and I got sick, Scottie. I got sick of seeing all these houses that are currently being built at the moment with curves. You know the curves?
Yeah.
Curve this, curve that, curve this. I said, this is Queensland architecture. What the hell is it doing in Victoria, right?
Maybe to make the weather better.
Our climate doesn't work with that. And so I did one post that said, what the fuck is going on with all this architecture from Queensland? Grow some balls, developers, grow some balls, architects, build and design Melbourne architecture. Otherwise, I'm going to fucking go to Queensland and I'm going to start building Melbourne stuff over there. That post went viral.
Because you said something bold. You said something with conviction.
With conviction. I was sweating. I had gym gear. I looked like a pig. My wife said to me, why did you post that? You're not even shaven. I said, fucking Marie, no one watches me anyway. But that day, 800 followers, 1,000 followers. And so it climbed.
But that's your style, though. Natural. Natural is your style.
And so someone said to me, why don't you do a really good video, right? That way...
hey, what's wrong with all my other videos?
No, at this stage, I've done a couple of videos. And so, someone that I know is an agency, he coached me, and for a whole day, I'm trying to record a video. Nothing worked.
Yeah.
Everyone said he said it's terrible.
It was too planned.
Anyway, too planned. It was 5:30 at night. I was at my coastal house. I went outside and I got the phone and said, you know what? I'm fucking sick of all this. This is who I am. My name is Dom. This is what I do. This is where I'm going. Whoever wants to come along, right? I sent it to him. And he goes, this is brilliant. How long did it take you to do that? 2 seconds. 2 seconds, right? And so from that day onwards, I said to myself, if I'm going to participate in this social media game, which, it's very draining, I'll only do it if I can be Dom, the real Dom, and if I can just use my phone.
Yes.
I don't want to
hire...
And
spare the moment.
And spare the moment. So you asked me before, how do you keep up all the content? So I like to walk. So I'll go for an hour walk. I'll come back with 15 videos. Because while I'm walking, I'm thinking...
And that's when we think, right?
I think, hang on here. And then I'll stop. It only has to be 90 seconds. Yeah. And then I'll keep walking.
And then you can then just choose when you post them.
Then I'll get back.
That content.
Yeah. And then I thought to myself, And this is in the early days. I was struggling. Oh my God, all this content. How am I going to do this? And then I thought, how does Netflix do it? Hang on, they have a series. What if I create a series instead? So every day is a series, like part 1, part 2, part 3. So I compartmentalize everything.
Yep.
So I've got my own little Netflix.
And I even saw recently you've got the days. So like day 200, day of 365 or whatever.
Yeah. So that makes it easier, because what happens is if you start creating a series and the plot today is this, the plot tomorrow you've already got in your head. I've told this today, I better tell that tomorrow.
And the story evolves.
And people love stories.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing about...
Which is what you learnt back when you were creating a story for a development.
So all my projects tell stories.
Yeah.
And people, and I also fell into a particular time where we are today, where AI is so prevalent, because I still get people saying, "You are real, aren't you? You're not AI." Yeah, it's me, right? So I fell into a
Isn't that funny? People are
still asking us, right? So I'm real. The content is 30 years of knowledge. There's no research. It's not like I better go and do some homework. It's just whatever triggers my mind about a particular subject. And it's also old school stuff.
Yep.
Because people keep saying to me, "Oh, I remember when we used to do that." What's stopping us from doing it today? Nothing. Yep. So
we've just got different tools to do it.
And I think, look, I tell this to everybody: Coco Chanel have not found a $5,000 cow who has a hide that it's $5,000 worth that can sell you a handbag for $500. Happened to be from the same factory with the other supplier. His cow was only $100, so it's the same handbag, all right? You're not paying for the cowhide.
Yep.
You're paying for the CC logo, Coco Chanel. You're paying for a story. The handbag is free.
Yep.
That's what you're buying.
Yep.
If you can understand that, any business you're in, if you're not selling stories, I'm afraid you're just a commodity. You're just like everybody else. You got to sell the story. People are voyeurs. They want to know. That's the other thing. Like, we were talking about hospitality before. I was even speaking to Dom the other day, your father-in-law, and I said, people would love to get into the nitty-gritties of fashion, all the dirty bits and pieces behind the scenes. They'd love it. And
people
also
love a bit of scandal, a bit of drama.
Scandal, but not only that, the behind the scenes are protected as if I better not tell you too much, because that's my knowledge. No, give it away.
Yeah.
Let it all go.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
So,
you give so much on your socials in terms of information. You give a lot of information, the ins and outs of construction.
It will never run out. No. It will never run out. I could talk for the next 10 years. It will never run out.
Yeah.
Because I also tell human stories about some of my funny clients, some of the more humorous people.
I love some of your videos where you look at a site and you talk about its evolution and you work things out on the go.
They're the most popular. They do take a little bit of time. Some real estate agents get offended by it.
Really?
Some ring me, deliberately try me to get me to do them for them, which I don't, because I don't take money. So I'll say no. But interestingly, you've hit on another topic that I love, is that, do you know that I know of, there's been 5 or 6 sales off the back of me highlighting a property that's for sale.
So when you go and you say, because for those that haven't seen your videos, they will follow you now, but you'll go to a site and you'll literally video it and say, I can see here that this shop could turn into some apartments.
If I bought this shop,
and then they've gone and contacted the owner? Or it was for sale already?
That's for sale.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll go on to...
You only do it if it's actually for sale.
Yeah, so I'll look at it, it's for sale. Oh no, I've done a couple where they're not for sale, but because I'm trying to teach technique.
Sure.
Not whether it's feasible.
And what to look for.
What to look for. So I'll go there and if I bought this site, I'll do this, this and this.
Yep.
So then a few weeks later, a guy rings me and goes, Dom, I bought it. Did you buy the site? Yeah. I'll follow you.
Off your video.
Oh, where are you from? I'm from New South Wales. Shit. You bought a Victorian property?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, is there any chance I could have a chat with you? Well, at the moment, I'm trying to launch my program, but my wife is a gun architect. We work together anyway. How about we arrange a meeting with Marie? So she's doing that at the moment for a client.
Fantastic.
2 or 3 like that. And others have got their own designers. I'll tell you another funny story. But
you inspired them though. You inspired them to go to look at it. Oh, there's a laneway there. Dom said that's really good because that'll work here. And
I'll give you a really good one. So there was this house for sale and a factory. So it was a house, but it had a factory behind it. Mm-hmm. Long-term carpentry joiner guy that built windows from 50 years.
One of those suburbs where the
Mini ponds.
factories were in the hood, like right in the neighbourhood.
In a residential area.
Yeah.
Had a laneway on the side, laneway with that beautiful property. And given the timing, I would have wanted to buy it. They're quoting $2 million plus. And I'm standing in front of it, and I usually highlight the agent's board because I'm not doing it for money.
Sure.
So I rang up the agent and I said, hey, you know what? This is going to be hard to sell because people won't see what I can see. But I reckon with a bit of vision for me, you'll kill this, right? And I said, I was testing him. I said, for $600, I might just post this and promote your business. Now, believe me, 600 wouldn't even cover my costs, but I thought I'd try. You know what he said? Yeah, by the time I get back to the office and I've got to ring up my marketing manager because he's a franchise, and then we've got to speak to the vendor, and then we've got to do this and this. I said, you know what, Peter? Fuck it. You know what? I'm not going to put your board on there. I'm still going to do it, but I'm not going to give the address. I'm not going to show your board. Fuck you, right? I'm just going to promote technique. And so I did, right? And so anyway, about 3 or 4 weeks after the auction, I get a call from a builder. He goes, Dom, I want to thank you. I said, for what? He goes, I bought that property. I said, I didn't put the address or anything. He goes, no, I know where it was. I traced it.
You worked it out.
I said, oh, yeah, how'd you go to the auction? Dom, no one turned up to the auction. I said, what? He goes, no one knew what to do with it. I said, really? He goes, but I did because I watched your videos.
You highlighted it.
And I said, what did you pay? And he goes, 1.9. And I said, that should have gone for $2.5 million. I would have bought it.
He picked up a bargain.
Now, why am I telling you this? What an asshole agent not to give the vendor an opportunity to tell the world potentially what this site can do, because it's difficult.
Sure.
Now, why is it a coincidence that many other properties I've highlighted have also sold? So what is that telling me? That the industry is broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people, if you go to Harvey Norman or JB Hi-Fi, is there a guy at the door standing going, mate, what's your name? It's Dominic. Mobile number? What are you looking for?
Are you talking about like an inspection?
Yeah. looking for a TV. Mate, just walk through TVs over there, buddy. I'll get to the TV. Is anyone here? Mate, can you tell me a bit about this TV? Yeah, it's got 3 buttons. It's got a screen. It's got a back. It's got a couple of feet. Yeah, I know that. I can see that. There's a kitchen. There's a bathroom. I can see all that. Well, what can the TV do? Well, mate, it's not our job, mate. You'll have to ring up a technician to tell you what to do with the TV. Could you imagine if that's how TVs were sold?
Yeah.
And they're only $1,000. No, you go in there, they tell you everything possible to get you to buy the TV. The biggest investment of our life, multi-million-dollar homes, and it's a sales.
Do you think the agents have had it too good for too long?
It's not their fault.
Do you think the market was just sort of...
The market was different a long time ago, right? Because commissions were 2 or 3%. They made $3,000 or $4,000 a house. Marketing was $1,000. Now marketing is $10,000. Commissions can be $20,000, $25,000 for the same 4-week campaign. In fact, it's less work. They've systemized everything, software, everything. All they do is now list and prospect.
Yep.
I feel terrible because a lot of agents are my friends and they're going, you're an asshole, Dominic. I don't mean to be an asshole to you. I'm just saying to you, every industry goes through change, and the ones that win are the ones that adapt.
Yes.
The real estate industry is the only one I think is removing them. They are the one killing the industry by systemizing themselves with software. So in other words, removing the interaction. Yep. The key part of real estate is how we
people to people
relationship. So they're removing that so they can list and prospect. List and prospect.
Okay.
You are the ones that are doing it. Thank you very much. Now, if all you've got left is listing and prospecting, have a look at overseas what's happening. They've got AI agents now, bots, who are listing and prospecting. You're fucked. So why do I say this, Scotty? In the next 12 months, and I mean this, I am going to launch a real estate agency that's run like a workshop, like an architect's workshop. Not because I want to be a real estate agent. I just want to see if we can sell property, not in terms of sales, but how to. If you buy this property...
So tell me how this works. I'm interested.
It's going to work very well.
So it's an agency that...
Okay, Scotty comes to me and says, Dom, I own a 60-year-old building in, I don't know, Northcote.
Yep.
No worries. We're going to bring it into the office. We're going to workshop it with the architects, interior designers, salespeople, real estate salespeople. We're going to workshop it. We're going to film us workshopping it.
Yes.
Okay? I'm not going to give everything away, but we're going to workshop it.
Yep.
Our in-house digital marketing agency. In-house, not external people. They work in this office for only our clients. We're going to tell the world what we think this property can do. We're going to tell the world. And we're going to heavily market it that way. The how-to of this property, right? And I've also got an idea for a listing platform, which is completely different to realestate.com.au and how it works. Completely different because they're just photo albums. Realestate.com.au.
Stay tuned. I like it.
And so these are big items, but I'm doing it for the love because I don't want to be a real estate agent. As if I want to go stand at a door, right?
Yeah.
But I believe by workshopping and having an office that runs, an agency that's like an office.
Yep.
An architect's office where creativity is the winner.
And people working with people.
Yeah. Why do people come to architects? Why do they go to interior designers? Why do people go to a stylist? Why do you get your hair cut at a certain place? Because they're the creative people. They are telling you, this is what we can do with your house. This is what we can do with your restaurant. They're the creative people.
Before I forget, you said before, I highlighted what they couldn't see, right? Is that the name Invisible Architect?
So that came, you know what I told you?
Seeing something that...
Yeah, so in the early days, remember I told you I was working for developers?
Yeah.
So we would find sites for developers and look for opportunities. Now, the reason we fell into that area wasn't because we were clever. We wanted something that would allow us to get the commission to beat established architects. What can we do to beat them at their game? Because we're not established enough. So what if I can see something in a property that the average architect doesn't see? What can we do? Plus, we had building experience, so in-house building experience, development experience, and I had my own graphics company, so I had way more experience about buildings than an architect. Okay, so we started to develop this persona of seeing something. Hey, I reckon I'll get 4 on here. Hey, I reckon we cut this up. Hey, if we move that wall here, we can get this. So one day a client goes, how the fuck do you see all this invisible stuff?
Yeah, okay.
I said, I don't know. You're fucking the invisible architect. So that just stuck me, but I never used it.
Do you still engage town planners, or do you pretty much know, when you look at a site, you know where you can get up to, where you can push the
I've
push
posted about this, and I'm not having a go at town planners. If you ring up a town planner, they understand data. They're not designers. So people will, this is in Queensland, if you ask them who's your number one call, they always say town planning consultant. Hi, Mr. Town Planner. There's a site on the corner of this road, 600 square meters in this zone. How many can I get on there? How about, look, you'll get 3. If they rang me, I would say, hang on, let me look, you'll get 3, but let me take a drive out there and observe the conditions. See what else I can see.
Can I push it a bit further?
Can I push it a bit? Is it, because the rules are written as if every site is the same, but it can't be the same. So I go out there and I go, hang on here. The rules, although are on this site, I think I can break them because this is an unusual site because it's next door to this or that or whatever. I might see something.
And again, sell the story.
Sell the story.
Maybe sell it to council.
I think I can convince council that their rules are inappropriate. In fact, if I follow their rules, it's going to be a bad development.
Yes.
And that's my job. It isn't their job to say, oh, no worries, Dom, because you want it, you can have it. No. My job is to convince them that the story is real and I'm right. So
the zoning, GRZ, 1, whatever, is irrespective of where it is. But you look at what's next door, what's behind.
There's a brothel next door.
What's across the road.
There's this next door.
Yeah.
There's this next door. There's all these factors. Now, the planner isn't trained for that. Okay? So
he's looking at a book and says...
So the answer to your question is 99% of the time, almost 100% of the time, I've not used a planner for my own projects.
Yep.
For clients, we'll get a planner on board after I've worked out what to do with it. Okay, but I don't want to denigrate planners because it feels like but I'm not trying to.
But you've also got a lot of experience that other architects don't have.
In fact, I would say that architects and planners is a team. You need both. It's just who do you ring first?
Yes.
Now, I know in Queensland, every time I go there with students, they say town planner, which astounds me, right? But in Victoria, a lot of them ring a designer first. It's a different philosophy, right? Yeah. But together, you need both. Sure. You need both. So a gun team would be both.
You said before on a project you and the builder kept one each, and then I presume you sold the others. Do you generally do that on your projects as joint ventures, or you try to avoid that?
That happened in 2019 and COVID hit. And so we said, we had sold the 4 already. And in my case, the builder decided to sell his one. I said, you know what, it's 2 doors down from my kids. They're in primary school, but they're heading into high school.
Yep.
I don't know what this COVID thing is. I think I might move into it because naively I thought the schools would be open. So we moved into it.
Okay.
But most of the time I wouldn't.
Has your strategy generally been to develop and hold some and grow the portfolio, or you like to sell and move on to the next one?
There's two types of development. There's long-term capital growth, buy a property, wait 10 years, it doubles in value. That's long-term. For me, I always felt that was too far, and I also felt it would hinder my potential to design and develop along the way, because despite what you hear, you can only buy a certain amount of properties and serviceability before you can't do any more.
Sure.
So my strategy was always, though I kept someone along the way, but was always to develop, showcase, tell a story, sell, take the money and do it again. That's always been my strategy, except a couple of personal properties like my coastal property, something that was dear to me. Now, if you're a young person, you can. It's hard to do the long-term one because you don't have enough income coming in. At some point, you can go from. So I believe in short-term. So I believe in instant capital growth, not long-term. What can I do to this property? Improve its value. Take the money. Do it again. That's what I love.
Is your advice to young people, let's say not necessarily in a relationship, they're not necessarily with their partner and buying a house together, but is your advice to young people to get 2 or 3 mates together and do a little project?
So the biggest fear that any person would have doing a joint venture partners is, can they trust their joint venture partner, the process, how do we do it, right? And that's why I jumped online and I'm going to be teaching. Like, I've scoured the internet and there are lots of online property educators teaching what I call tactics. Not the art of development, but a tactic. So a tactic might be, hey, I'll tell you where you can buy property for 20% less than the market. That's a tactic. Hey, I'll teach you where to find the latest whatever, right? That's a tactic. It's a bit like me saying to you, hey, I'll teach you how to be a golfer and play 18 holes. Here's a golf club. You're a golfer. And the analogy is this. I had a young guy ring me, he goes, I've been watching you, I'm so excited. I bought a house. I'm going to put 2 units on there. I said, congratulations. And then he said this, what do I do now? Well, what do you mean, what do you do now? So they're all leaving out the how-to process. Yeah. So I spent 1.5 years establishing what is the how-to of property. The how-to of property for me is a 4-part process, which is 4 courses. Part 1 is see the invisible opportunities like I see them. What can I see that others can't see? So I've identified there are 25 different ways I did that. Okay, so now I've taught you one tactic to find it, but that's not going to help you. Yep. So the next part is project managing that project through all the different stages. How to read the contract, how to get the terms, how to conduct yourself at an auction. Like all the way to marketing and selling until you hand over. So that's project management. The third one is, people think it's a wank, but I reckon it's the most important, is the storytelling, in inverted commas, marketing and branding. And I've developed the storytelling funnel to push this thing, telling stories. Like there's a story I told myself to buy it, a story I had to tell Scottie to become my joint venture partner, a story to tell the guy that I'm the auctioneer who's selling it. Then I have to tell a story to my broker to sell the idea to either a first tier, second tier or third tier lender.
Get the funding, yeah.
Then I've got to go to Marie, who's my architect, or a stranger and say, hey, no, we're not doing 3-7. What? I'm an architect, I can't get 7. I'll show you, I have an idea. Storytelling.
Yep.
It goes into council, finding out who the planner at council is. Are they straight out of university? Are they well established? Do they have form? There's a story we need to engage in. It's about storytelling. That is so important. And even at the end, when we finish our projects, I don't just say to someone, here's the key, congratulations. I spend days doing a manual, a handover manual to the people that have bought it. Here is the red bin, here's the yellow bin, this is the days you put the bin out, this is the NBN, this is the meter number, this is how the alarm. I take care of the storytelling. So, and the last one is tracking, cost tracking. So, finding opportunities, project managing, telling a story, because Coco Chanel tells stories, we should tell stories, our building should have a story, because when it's out into the marketplace, why do I want to be one of 100 apples? I want to be the orange. And that project I told you about where we did 6, it went to market. The average price, 3 meters away they were building from us, the average price at the time was $745. We sold ours for an average of $945. Stories.
This is what I love about you, Dominic, is you look at the road less travelled. You don't necessarily do things the way that everyone does it.
Scottie, the roads have been travelled by others. You don't have to learn from me. Learn from the fashion houses of Australia, of the world. What do you think they do?
I mean, just not following the norm.
No, but you can adapt the philosophies, right? Why would I build the same townhouse that everybody else is building? That doesn't make any sense.
Where's my point of difference?
Where's
How
my point
am I
of
going to
difference?
ask for some
How am I
more
going to
money
have the balls to
sell?
ask for more? And I've had people come to me, hey Dom, you want $945, but they're $745. Not a problem. I can show you, go across the road, but there's another 10 down the street. Go for your luck. You can bargain them down to probably 700. Congratulations. And they look at me and they go, but we want yours. It's $945. Now,
But there's a reason why they want yours.
Now, we also back it up. Good architecture. You can't just ask for it because you think you're good.
No.
No, you've got to back it up. It's got to be a beautiful product. But I heavily believe in storytelling because people buy stories. They don't buy products. And you know what the good part is? We track our work, and I track Marie's work, my wife. They get record prices 6 years later, 7 years later, because the story's still relevant in the marketplace.
Yep. Well, the markets continue to shift, but that particular
It
development
still has a point of
is
differentiation.
still unique.
Now, everyone's building these Queensland curves. You won't see one curve in our office. You won't see it, right? But
Isn't curve back? Doesn't everyone want the...
what I'm trying to say is there's 2 investments that any person makes in buying a building or engaging a professional designer. Let's just call them, doesn't have to be a negative. You get two returns. The first return is, let's look at the house. You paid an architect, you paid great fees, you now get to live in a house that's awesome. That's your first return. Aren't you lucky compared to everybody else? You're living. 7 years later, because that's the average return, people sell every 7 years, you put yours on the market and suddenly you get 20, 30, 40% more than your neighbour. That's where the return pays, the second time.
Yes.
Now, it's hard to convince people on day one, pay our fee. I know it's a lot of money, but you'll get it back later. It's very hard. Of
course.
But the believers who come back once, twice, 3 times, they understand
And
that
they've seen the returns.
They see the returns.
They see the value. Like that story that you told at the beginning. The man said to you, I don't see the value.
They don't see the value. Now,
Whereas the ones that keep coming back to you, they see the value.
I see it. I've got a classic example of a client that Marie's designed their home twice. So she designed this home for them in Moonee Ponds. A single fronter with a contemporary addition, designed for them. Italian family, for them. 6 years later, they go to Marie, we want to work with you again. Do us another house in the next street. Marie goes, not a problem. So, but we're going to put this house on the market. So they ring up an agent, a real estate agent that they know, and we know. So we know each other. And the agent says, well, the highest price ever paid for a single fronter, contemporary additions, fully renovated in this area is 1.54. And the client says to him, I want $2 million. And the agent goes, you got no chance. First of all, Marie has designed this specifically for you.
Yep.
It's not conventional, right? We won't get it. But nevertheless, as an agent, they still listed it. It goes to market. At the open for inspections, the feedback from the agent to the client is everybody says it, it's got a black kitchen, why doesn't it have a white kitchen? Why is the floor stone when it should be floorboard? So he's conditioning the client, right? Yeah. Marie's fucked it up. What has she done? He can speak liberally. And at the end, Marie goes to the agent, because the agent said these words, I could have got 1,000 people here. I'd be lucky to get 1. And Marie, in front of the client, goes, we don't fucking need 1,000 people here. We need 1 buyer.
We only need one to buy it.
That's your job, buddy. That's your job, bro.
He's right.
Goes to public auction. 3 bidders killed themselves. Sold for $2.29 million, right? Now, the moral of the story is this. We weren't after 90% of the market. We just want that little group.
But want something different, something nice.
Is it a risk? No. Not all of us can afford a car. Can you afford a car? Right? 5,000 or 6,000. I wouldn't be called. But what I'm saying is, people make the mistake of being generic or bland,
Yep.
or they're trying to be someone for everybody. I don't care who's watching this, whatever business you are. If you are trying to appease 100% of the market, you stand for nothing.
Yep.
Zero. One of the famous marketing people I follow around the world, his name is Seth Godin, and he makes a really good statement. He says, if Nike opened a hotel tomorrow, you and I could imagine and feel what that hotel could look like. We could imagine it, couldn't we?
Sure.
We go, fuck yeah, I can see how the feeling of the Nike.
Yep.
But if the Hyatt said tomorrow we're going to make shoes, we'd go, what the fuck would that look like? Because Nike have a story to sell,
Yes.
a brand. The Hyatt have a logo.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
if you just understand that concept in your business, so if we go to hospitality, every time I see a new restaurant, or especially takeaway food shops, opens up, I go in and I see bain-marie, fans, tables, chairs, a window for coffees to sold on the street. The first thing I say to myself is, they may sell awesome food, but eventually I'll probably get tired of coming here.
Just another one.
It's just another one, right?
Yep.
Why aren't they saying to themselves, what experience, what story can we tell to keep people coming back here? What can we do
To be different.
To be different, right? And I'm not experienced in hospitality, and I could be wrong, but that's how I see things. Well, how can we be different? There's a restaurant. Remember I told you about that art teacher in high school? So
Yeah.
I'm 18, and she lived in Camberwell, and she said, hey, Dom, we should go to this restaurant called Fiorelli, right? Opposite Tivoli Cinema. You should go there. Marie and I are courting. Oh, no, I was 18, and then later on I met Marie, and I took Marie to Fiorelli's, right? And our table was...
Camberwell.
Camberwell. The table wasn't ready yet, right? So they said, look, let's go to the bar, and then they escorted us to the table, free drinks. We were impressed. The second time we went, they came to us and said, hi, Dominic, nice to see you again. I don't remember any
Remembered your name.
How did they remember my name after just one time? Same treatment. So I'm 58. So 1858. Fiorelli's is still there.
Yeah.
The fit out looks as contemporary and modern as it did 30, 40 years ago. The hospitality, the way they talk to you, the way they greet you at the door, the menu
experience
has not changed. That's unheard of. Is it the best restaurant in the world? Probably not.
But they create an experience and make it comfortable for people to come back.
Even the other day I said to me, I want to go back to Fiorelli's. It's where it all began,
You
right?
feel good. You feel good going there.
So I don't understand people that, and it's not about money. It doesn't matter what industry. It's it's. Have you seen that guy on social media? It's an African boy that does clothes made out of rubbish.
I haven't.
And he does fashion using leftover whatever's in the rubbish. I think to myself, there's no money. He's got no income, yet he's so artistic.
Doing something different.
Yeah.
And people love it. I'm sure he's got lots of followers.
So if I had to tell anybody anything, there's another. We could talk forever, Scotty, but there's another famous story. There's a Seth Godin tells the story of a 7-Eleven in New York. The head honchos wanted to know why that 7-Eleven sold more coffees than any other 7-Eleven. It doesn't make sense. It should be an average, right? So the head honchos go, we're taking a trip to New York. So they go there. They get
See
there.
why.
There's a line out the door. What the hell's going on here? It's fucking 7-Eleven. Coffees are $1. What are they going to be, right? They go in there and they're watching the barista interact with the line, right? They go up to her to listen carefully, and this is what she says as each one comes up. G'day, Scotty. How you going? Do you want your normal latte today? Come on, don't have a latte. How about a cappuccino? I'm making you a cappuccino today, Scotty. Hope you enjoy your job in your hospitality business. I'll see you tomorrow. Next one. Sarah, good to see you. The barista, 50-something-year-old woman, knew all the names of everyone in that line. They weren't lining up for coffee. They were lining up for an experience.
Have a chat.
She knew their name. And the head honcho said to each other, do you know that we can never sack her? She's made herself indispensable.
We need to clone her.
Well, but the point I'm trying to make is she didn't wake up that day and say, I just fucking make coffees.
Yeah.
I'm just a coffee maker. No, I'm more than a coffee maker. I'm way more than that. So this is
love
all
it.
I say to people. Whatever industry you're in, you're way more than what the definition is.
I love it.
I don't have to be I don't have to talk like an architect and all these stupid big words. I don't have to act this way. I can do whatever I want.
Yep.
Some guy messaged me today. I haven't responded to him. I don't know how I'm going to respond to him. Just following your socials. They all look pretty good, mate. Are you an accredited agency, accredited education provider, blah, blah, blah? I said, yeah, accredited? No, right? 30 years of experience, multiple hats. I wouldn't even dare go under the university system to be accredited. You got rocks in your
Don't
hand.
even respond.
Don't
even respond.
But my point is, we live in a world we don't need permission anymore.
Yeah.
Did you need permission to set up this?
No.
It's amazing you're on TV station.
I'm going to make my own certificate that says I'm now officially accredited podcaster.
But
We're going to put it up here.
don't you think it's fantastic that we can do whatever we want now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I know that young people today say, this intergenerational issue where the past had more benefits, but we didn't have internet. We didn't have it at our disposal information. The gates were closed.
Yep.
There's pros and cons. Every generation is going to talk about the previous generation and the previous one.
Yep.
And I'm sure in the future they're going to say this generation had everything. I'm sure it's going to be like that. So I say to people out there, don't look to blame.
Yep.
Look, put your blinkers on and say, fuck everybody, I'm going to do it this way.
Pave your own way, yeah.
There is no law.
Yep. Absolutely.
There is no law. Do what you want. You want a house? If you really want a house, you'll get it.
There's ways to do it.
Now, you want it in Toorak? You're not going to get it today. Start off what I call hop, skip and jump. Start off in Braybrook. I'm sorry. Start off in Braybrook. Get the local scene, find the cafes, build the structure and life you want, because you want to be around transport, cafes, amenities. Build it there. You might fall in love with it. You might stay. But if not, you go to the next suburb, and you go to the next suburb. And you may one day end up where you want to be.
Yep.
Or you may end up like me, a gypsy, where everywhere we go, we fall in love, and we don't want to go.
And you don't want to leave.
And we don't leave. And this is the problem. You can't have it all.
Yeah.
But you can start.
Yeah. And look, a lot of kids want to live in what they grew up in, their parents' home from their first home, which is difficult.
Hundreds of backyards ready to be developed.
Yeah, well, there you go. Utilising that site.
And having said that, one thing that the generations today do have, which is super accurate and super true, is the salaries. They need 8 times their salary for a home. And in my era, we needed 4 to 5. That's a fact. We can't deny that. Right?
The inflation has changed different to the salaries.
Okay, so rather than complain, because we can't change that. Doesn't matter how much you jump up and down or try and take that money from
you just have to do it
the
differently.
baby boomers. They're not going to help you.
Yep.
You have to say to yourself, what can I do with the current rules and to improve my livelihood? You're an individual.
Yep.
You don't have to follow the masses. Anyway.
I'm gonna give.
Scotty, sorry, I told you we would speak forever.
We're gonna have to have an episode too. We're gonna have an episode. We've got so much to talk about. All right, to finish up, I'm gonna give you some rapid fire, just a bit of fun questions. Okay. You ready for it? Who is your biggest influence?
Who's my biggest influence? Well, my biggest influence at the moment is my wife, Marie. Yep. And we go to each other for all the I tell you what. One of the best things you should do in your life, if you marry the wrong partner, you're fucked. Because I can go to Marie with the most absurd ideas, she'll back me. In fact, this is the question I gave to her 6 months ago. Hey Marie, should we go to our deathbed on a full tank or empty tank? And she looked at me, she goes, empty tank. I said, oh yes. What that means is, we're not going to go to our grave with a coffin full of money. Yeah. If we go to our grave and we're broke. But what a life lived.
But you enjoyed it.
So at the moment, Marie has a big impact on me.
I love it. Your favourite building in the world?
The Chrysler Building, New York City.
The Chrysler Building.
Oh, I'd buy that tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to Google it. So what's the?
It's the one that sort of goes. It's Art Deco, right? And it goes to a point. And it was designed.
Is it offices? Or?
Yeah, it was designed during the 1920s, I think, when there was a battle for the tallest building in the world. So look it up. The Chrysler Building was in battle with another architect to have the tallest building in the world. The Chrysler was the Chrysler family cars. So all the ornaments are based on car parts, right? But when it got to the top, this architect here said to the Chrysler Building, "Stuff you, I'm taller than you." But hidden in the building, they had designed a spire that they pulled out at the last second and became the tallest building in the world, the Chrysler Building. Yeah.
Cheeky. One word to describe Melbourne architecture.
European. Yeah.
From a development point of view, townhouses or apartments?
Townhouses, fuck apartments.
The best advice you've ever received?
The answer is always out there.
One thing that you'd tell your 20-year-old self?
One thing Oh, God, one thing I tell my 20-year-old, I was impatient. You know, straight out of uni, I had to travel the world. I had to buy a house. You know, I was impatient. I should have slowed down my life. Slow it down, calm. You don't have to do it all by the age of 21. It was ridiculous.
But you also had your goals that you set.
I know,
Remember
but
you said?
I think you should savor the moment. In the early years, I was just too busy punching it out, yeah.
What does success feel like now compared to 20 years ago?
Success, well, you mature as a human being, and suddenly success is about the people around you, right? Your family and friends. In 2023, that episode at the hospital saw me venture into the unknown and put myself amongst people that I looked for my tribe. I know people say that, but I actually looked for my people.
Yep.
I was too busy, not like in a world where I thought I belonged, but my world was different, right? So success is about finding your people, being in their company, enjoying their company, whether it's family, friends, or acquaintances. You have a sense of calmness, and it's not about money.
Yep.
And that's when it hits you. It's not money. It's about experiences you live in, you are trying to achieve. On your deathbed, you'll look back in life and say, well, what a ride. That's why I said to you, we're not afraid to lose everything, because what a ride. We won't be saying, wow, I'm glad I bought that Lexus, car. I'm glad I no, it's about, so what does success look like today? Enjoying the people around you.
Perfect. Love it. Is it harder to find the right development site or a reliable trade?
No, it's hard to find at the development site, because once you look, there are so many good trades and people out there. I can't tell you how many friends I've made that are tradesmen.
Yep.
And they've got families and kids.
Yep.
Again, people, you only ever hear, the tradesmen rip you off. Some do. There are some architects that will rip you off.
Sure.
Tradies, build it. They're amongst us, crawling amongst us.
Yep.
But amongst that group of people are some wonderful people.
Absolutely. My favorite question. You could have dinner with anybody. Who would it be?
In the world.
In the world. Anybody.
Anybody in the world? Oh, God, this is a hard one.
Normally stumps people.
No, because I did a post.
Well, you got a few.
Now, because I did a post once, if you could have dinner with 8 people, and I named all 8, right? And
It's got to be one of them.
Yeah, so it's one of them. So who would you have at a table? There's a saying, laugh and the world laughs with you. Cry and you get a wet face, right? In other words, they won't cry with you.
Yep.
So I would want someone that would make me laugh, right? So who makes me laugh? Bette Midler. Who else is there? It would have to be a comedian. So
Someone that makes you happy.
someone makes me laugh. Because everything else would be about business or
Sure.
But someone that made me cry so hysterically. Who's that actor? I forgot his name. The one that did Analyze This. What's his name? I forgot his name.
Yes, it's on the tip of my tongue as well.
Anyway, yeah. So it would be a comedian. So if I had to do a broad. Okay.
Oh, it's killing me.
It's killing me.
I'm picturing his face.
He did Analyze This 1 and 2. He was so...
Robert De Niro.
No, he did it with Robert De Niro. He's a comedian. He was the consigliere.
Get the Google out.
Get the Google out.
What, the consigliere in what?
In Analyze This.
Oh, now you've got me.
He was a straight guy. I forgot his name. God, I can't believe it. He's my favourite comedian. Anyway.
Doesn't matter. Him. Dominic, thank you so much for coming
Scottie,
on
thanks.
the podcast.
I feel like I've spoken for the whole time. You didn't say a word.
It's been a lot, but that's why you're here. People don't want to listen to me all the time. That's why
Yeah, that
you're
was
here.
really good.
Where can people find you?
Okay, so I think the best spot is Instagram. So go to hashtag #invisible.architect. There I post every day heaps of stuff. If you want to join my community and be a part of the community and the courses that are being launched on the 1st of July, you're going to have to DM me your email, mobile, and full name.
And there's a link there on your Instagram page.
Or you can DM me. I don't care.
Yep.
The link is there if you want to go, but that's probably the best way to find me.
That's awesome. Thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
coming
having
on.
us, by the way.
Maybe we'll have an episode 2
I'll
in the
have an
future,
episode 2.
and we'll chat about all the other things that we there's so many things that you do.
Oh
that
yeah,
I love.
I have a real big passion for, the changing world of real estate in terms of selling homes and that. I don't think I think people, there's an evolution happening massive, and who's going to be a part of it? So I think there's even a podcast there. Or anyway.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in. It sounds like we are going to have an episode 2 because Dominic has some awesome things coming up, really exciting, innovative things coming up in relation to property, which I'm excited to hear about, and we can get together and talk about it again. Please help me out to like, share, and subscribe. Hit all those buttons. The more traction I can get, the awesome guests that I can keep getting onto this show. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.